Werewolf here. You know, one time I had this job that I, for the most part, hated, and I knew it was only a matter of time before I quit. I also wanted to visit Europe, so I bought a ticket, and I called in. I said, hey, I'm in Scotland right now, and I quit. Well, if I had to do things over, I would have made a much better long-term plan. You see, I had a job lined up. Actually, I'd already started working that job on my days off. And I was quite optimistic. I felt I had a future in what I was doing. Then, something that I thought was ambitious that I did got me fired. So, I would have saved a bigger emergency fund first, thought of a plan B and C if something went wrong, and stayed a little bit longer at that job that I quit. I'll tell you more about what I did next. You see, I'm seeing a lot of videos, particularly on the Manospehere Red Pill channels, about men checking out of the workforce. A lot of influencers are encouraging this, and this really isn't any kind of long-term thinking. Remember, it's influencers who sit in their cozy chairs, playing video games, setting their own schedule, telling you this. I think they're largely speaking to an audience of those smart, also impressionable young men that may not have a lot of work experience, and some of these influencers posture themselves as father figures or mentors of some kind, and it's really horrible what they're doing. And I don't see many comments in the comments section challenging these viewpoints. You see, unlike them, I look at job security as survival. I was scared when I got fired. About 2 months later, I got an interview lined up at a similar agency, and I felt tense at the interview, not knowing how I would truly respond to the question, so why did you quit your last job? Well, I got that job, and at first I wasn't getting many hours, and I was still looking for a full-time job in that field. So what I did to survive was I started working a seasonal job. After that, I found another temp job that worked evenings for a while. Then I went back to my seasonal job the next year, a summer job that was kind of interesting. And along the way, I ended up diversifying what I could do. I made a few friends, I got some more references, and the job that I have now is in that same field. You know, one time on break at that previous job, the temp job that led to what I have now, I was just chatting. I clicked with a guy who was working there who ended up being the guy that interviewed me at that future job interview that I got. From time to time, I ask myself, what would I do if I got fired today? What would be the immediate thing I would do in the next 24 hours to situate myself towards something? Now, let's take a guy who has a family to support. Now, he's got to get something fast in that same income group. You know, that's much more of a challenge. But if you're not in his shoes and you're just on your own, you should definitely be doing something. If you can't find a job or you just need a break, maybe in that downtime you could attend networking events in your field, join some professional club, work on your portfolio, volunteer. You know, look, if you follow religion, volunteering is probably part of that religion, right? And then that's something you could add to your resume to show that you, before I had the job that I started now, I was also working on a blog on a free WordPress site, writing articles about my profession. Not many people read it, but the point was, it was something that I could add to my resume, just a small thing I could do to stand out somewhat from the competition. And here's another thing I learned from real-life experience. Yes, true, the volume of competition to find a job, to even get an interview, is overwhelming. But people, to a large extent, seem to be less competent these days, neglecting job security, and I think avoiding being as smart as they really could be. You know, I've since helped friends who have lost their jobs, And I'm surprised how many people I know rage quit or just got fed up and left without any real emergency fund or backup plan or leads or good references. Especially some don't even have a car. So I'm trying to help them find a job they can get along a bus line. And I suggest, do you know anyone that, drives to a nearby job they could carpool with, Also, I'm surprised how many people I know that are otherwise competent and smart in most areas of their life complain that they never get a response, but they didn't seem to know that you should make a follow-up call, after submitting the application. Look, if people in the general sense are getting less competent, now is your opportunity to stand out. And hopefully you can gain some ground and start building yourself up there from now. I hate when these influencers are telling you just check out, especially when they say play video games, like that's the only thing they can think of. If I followed their advice, I would be a lot worse off today. Look, if you follow my advice, maybe you'll have similar experiences, maybe you'll be worse off, I don't know, maybe you'll do better. Chances are it'll be different, I don't know, I can't guarantee anything, and neither can these gamer influencers tell you how your life will turn out. Oh, and to the guys calling work wage slavery, saying you're just working to make someone else rich, bro. No, you're making someone else rich when you buy something. Just about anything we do interact with, Someone had to work to produce that. Yeah, maybe the wages aren't fair. Maybe the demands, it's too stressful. But it's something. You know what? The further back in time you go, it used to be a one-day weekend. I mean, I know some people, and I've been there before, where I'm working my other job on the weekends, so I don't really have them. And a lot of people, and a lot of points in history, never had any weekend day off. But you know what? It's still something. Hey, you know what? Subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other videos. I'd like to hear from you. And until next time, life, liberty, and the pursuit of all.